Welcome to Thriller Bitcoin. Welcome to Thriller Bitcoin.
Just start.
I already started.
Right.
We're going to spend the first few minutes talking about how we just already started.
Okay.
But you started the pod with you
just
burping.
cut this first 5 minutes. Can you give the intro, like, ladies and gentlemen, like, just do the usual thing?
Nah, I don't do that anymore.
Come on.
That's not what the people want. The people want candid pleb podcasts. This is why they listen to Thriller.
All right,
hey, since you've been gone, man, listenership has gone up. Yeah, it's doing its thing. What have you been up to, dude? It's good. I'm going to first, let me just say,
go ahead.
It's great to have you back, man, inside the lab.
It is so great to be back. It was night and day being in California and Austin. I can understand why people are moving from, San Francisco to here.
Why?
Just so many things, man. I think the biggest culture shock for me was there's so many things, man.
But why? But like, what is it?
It's hard to describe. It's
fake.
The first day, I think getting off the plane, I felt like I was entering enemy territory, you know? It really felt like that. Yeah. I got off the plane.
Why though? Why do you feel like that? Why did you feel like that?
Because it just felt like so radically different in so many ways, politically, culturally.
You mean just like walking around?
Yeah, just walking. That's first 5 seconds off the airplane. I was like, man, the energy here is different. You feel it. Because here in Austin, it's like, it's more friendly.
Free?
It's a lot more free. Yeah, but in California, it's like very authoritarian, you know?
Wow.
There's like a lot of people wearing masks and stuff. It was really weird.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, still.
So it's kind of like The Man in the High Castle. Did you ever see The Man in the High Castle?
I've watched bits and pieces. I want to buy the book.
Yeah, where it's like basically like two different Americas.
Yeah, man. So I guess since I'm at it, I want to talk about the first day zero, right?
Okay, so for just so anybody that doesn't know, Tristan has companies Lightning Escrow. He was in Pleb Lab, and you went. Yeah, go ahead and say.
So I'll tell you what happens where I've been for the past month, right? So about 6 months ago, I was in a program called Draper X, and this was like back when we were in Capital Factory, right?
Yeah.
They reached out to me on Telegram. I'm not going to say her name, but she reached out to me and said, "Hey, Tristan, been following your company for a while. We have this program called Draper X, and I want you to apply to it." I was like, "What the hell is this? This is like obviously a scam." But I looked into it. I looked into what Draper X is, who Tim is, because at the time I didn't
know who Tim Draper was.
I mean, like I heard of him, right? But I didn't know he was so he didn't.
Yeah, he's world renowned.
Yeah, he's world renowned, you know. And in fact, his family, his great grandfather invented venture capital in SF, like in the 50s and 40s. So they pretty much have like this. They set the standard for what like venture capital is today. But anyway, so I applied to this Draper X program, right? It was amazing, right? It was 12 weeks long. I had mentors from some of the best companies you've ever heard of. Like, I can't say who exactly, but you've used them.
You've told me about them.
Yeah. And
off the record.
Yeah, off the record. May or may not have, legally speaking.
Actually, I don't even remember now.
Don't worry about it.
Dude, this Royal Blue coffee, man, freaking hits different.
I know. That's why
I think they're putting cocaine in this thing.
What?
Dude, I didn't feel like I've been drinking the Pleb Lab coffee, dude. I guess the stuff that Kyle's buying is different. This is stronger.
It is. It is, man.
God, I don't know where they're getting this, man.
This is Austin coffee. That's why. Anyway, so back to the original point. Rep Rex went to the program, and at the end of it, there was pitch day, and that was the big deal because like 60 VCs on a Zoom call, and Tim was there, Nick Carter was there.
Was really cool. Nick Carter? Was this pre-blonde or after blonde? Pre-blonde?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you got like BTC Maxi Nick.
Yeah, I did.
I'm kidding.
So we pitched, but what I didn't know is that there was prizes for pitch day, and one of the prizes was the top 3 pitches got a scholarship to Drip University. I was like, okay, great. I had no idea. I don't know what the hell that is, but we'll see what happens. I had a great pitch, not to jerk myself off, but I had one of the best pitches and I did well. Tim said I did great. I can't say. One of the VCs that we've been talking to, she said I did great.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
She's very sweet. And program was over, and sure enough, I got the scholarship. I was like, cool. So now what? I keep working, and it's time to go to the program. And before, like a week before I went.
This is back in October, right?
Yes, back in like October. Like 2 weeks, October 1st. I looked into the program, Drip U, a little bit, and it's very vague. The website is very vague. They don't really say much about it. So I went there with an open mind. I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
So I go there, pack my bags. The first day was a train wreck. First day was just utter chaos because I get on the plane. It's just crying children on the plane. I'm nervous as fuck because I have no idea what to expect. And the program itself is actually on an actual campus because what they did is they took an old hotel and they converted it into a school in San Mateo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really nice. If you want to pull up a picture, you can. But
I'm gonna pause this Dropbox thing because it
don't worry about it.
Keeps going.
Anyways, the first flight was atrocious. I had a layover flight, and I was almost late to my flight because I was like, cool, they board.
You were leaving from Austin?
The morning. Yeah. So I go from Austin to Salt Lake, from Salt Lake to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I thought I had an hour layover. The time changed. I had 5 minutes layover. It's like, fuck. So I literally sprinted to my flight. I had 40 pounds on my back. I had to carry a bag, my other bag, and my suit bag.
If anybody doesn't know, Tristan Beach's frame is very tiny.
Just kidding. Shut the fuck up. I'm taller than you, Car.
No, you're not.
Yeah, yes, I am.
I'm 6'3". Beach?
Bullshit, Beach.
How tall are you?
6'2.5".
Oh, I beat you. We'll measure afterwards.
Anyway, our height, not anything else.
Oh, because you brought enough luggage for probably what, 2 months?
I mean, I checked everything else, but still. Anyway, I get to my layover. I have 5 minutes to get onto my flight, so I sprint half a mile. This airport's huge.
God, dude.
I was like, when the fuck is this airport going to end? It just keeps going. I'm the last person on my flight, and they're like about to close the door. So I get on this flight. I'm sweating, and I get on the plane. I try to relax, and halfway through the flight, I'm still thinking about like the program I'm going to do, I'm going to meet. I spill coffee all over my crotch and on my suit bags. I'm like, God damn it. And I tried to clean it up. And I was just so pissed because I thought my suit was ruined. And I just bought this suit, right?
What kind of, okay.
It was a nice suit.
Because you needed a suit for the whole thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway, that was terrible. So then
Were you just wearing turtlenecks the whole time there?
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so I get to San Francisco, SFO airport. Mm-hmm. I could not find the Uber area for my life. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to get a taxi. So I was like, taxi,
Dude, actually, taxis actually work out better at the airport.
Fuck that. No, I got scammed.
Dude, really?
What? Dude, no, I got scammed. So I got in this taxi, this Russian guy, he's driving, and we're about to leave the airport. He's supposed to take a left. He takes a right. It's my time in the taxi, like an extra 20 minutes. I'm like, dude, you missed your turn. He's like, oh, I don't speak English. I'm like, great. So I got scammed for an extra $20.
Was it a yellow taxi?
Yeah, it was a yellow taxi.
Okay, that's probably
taxis are fiat.
Dude, so I've been taking taxis from the airport lately. It works, man.
It's just San Francisco.
It's just faster.
Taxis. I know, but like in San Francisco, it's terrible. So I got scammed by the taxi. And then I get to the university. It's huge. It's really big. It's like way bigger than you expect. And I walk inside. I'm like, oh, do you have your security deposit? I'm like, what security deposit? Oh, you need like $200. to in cash. It's like, great. So go to the bank across the street, got my credit card pin. I was on the phone with my bank for 30 minutes trying to get it. Finally get the credit card pin. And I meet this guy from, the first guy I met, his name was Ignacio. He's from Argentina. Really cool guy. We talked a little bit, about where he's from, what he's doing. And I finally get up to my room. It's locked. I come back downstairs. I'm like, listen, my key card isn't working. Like, oh, okay, let's go check it out. And it works, but the door is dead bolted. You're laughing because you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say. Yeah,
I walk in, I meet my roommate. He's also from Argentina.
Cool guy or no?
And yeah, he was cool, but I get in and, mind you, there's going to be women at this program, right?
There's going to be women at this program?
Yeah, there's like 15 women at this program. It was really nice. Some very, very attractive ones. But anyway, I'm talking to, his name is Matthias, Matt, I call him Matt for short. And we just started talking, where you from? What do you do? And I said, okay, listen, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Like, there's women here, and if you want to take any women into this room, let me know beforehand.
Wait, you were telling him? You were telling this guy?
I was telling him that. And he's like, oh no, I like boys. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gay. I was like, oh great. So my roommate for the next 5-6 weeks was gay. So I was a bit uncomfortable.
Why? Because he was checking you out?
Yes, dude. Like
the whole time?
Yeah, dude, the whole time. It's like,
oh dude, man, that's crazy.
I don't mind it.
I don't think I've ever been in that situation.
I don't mind it, but it's like, it's there, But
do you think
I don't know, man. But anyway, so first day was just train wreck. Spilled a coffee in my crotch, running from airport to airport. Sorry, flight to flight, and just, gay roommate. And it was a mess. But that night was really nice because I went to dinner with all these people from Argentina, and we're all like really nervous. We went to this nice restaurant to get steaks, and we're talking about where we're from, what we're doing. It was just really nice, man. I think that night is the night I realized like there's gonna be a lot of different cultures here I can learn from.
Yeah, because it sounds like a worldwide thing, right?
Yeah, and the first day I was there,
I wonder how much they spent on that, dude.
A lot. They spent a lot.
Like in the millions, you think, or like less
I would
than
say
a million?
Like hundreds of thousands, maybe for the whole program. That cohort, it was expensive, man.
Wow. Gosh.
So I got the name Texas there because we're talking about guns and gun law the first night. And they're like, oh, you carry a gun around? I'm like, maybe, who knows? But every time they pass me in the hallways, like, Tristan, bang! Like they do the guns. Yeah, it'd be hilarious. Like, so watch, you guys got a gun. I was like laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm an American there. I was one of 5 Americans out of 62 people there.
You're one of 5?
One of 5, man. It was amazing. It was really, really cool.
And you're probably the only Texan there?
Yeah. Well, there's me and this guy named Justin. He has a company called Cabin. Really cool guy. He's in San Antonio. I want to bring him here sometime. Really nice guy. We're going to be good friends. But anyway, it was just amazing, man. So the first day was just utter chaos. But from there on, it was truly amazing. And I actually have a journal of everything that I experienced. And it got so busy to the point where I didn't have time to write down what I experienced that day. And man, it was just life-changing, that program. Really. I remember this. I remember this program for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I remember you were super excited about going to it. And then there were some other people that got selected and they turned it down, right?
They're fools for turning it down.
Really? Why do you say that for? You don't have to call them out, but why do you say that for?
I just think they missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Truly. And this cohort that we had was a very special one because I asked the staff who's, been through like 10 of them. They said, listen, this cohort is probably one of the best we've ever had. And it was honestly magical, man, because we had great companies there, great people. We're all type A personalities. So we're all like button heads and like how to not be a follower. But it was a lot, man. It was really, really cool.
So it's basically like experience that you couldn't gather anywhere else unless you went through that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And so the next day we did like a tour because we had one extra day to prepare for the actual start of the program. Because I got there a day early. And it was nice, man. We went to the Golden Gate Bridge, took some pictures there. But the craziest part was that I think the first biggest culture shock from Texas to California was the gender neutral bathrooms.
What does that mean?
So I say that because, listen, I don't mind it, but the way it was at a kid's like playground, right? So we went to the Golden Gate Bridge, walked about a mile from the Golden Gate Bridge to downtown San Francisco.
Okay.
And
wait, is San Mateo outside of San Francisco?
Yeah, it's about 35 minutes by car.
Okay.
Yeah.
North or south?
South? No. Okay. I don't know. I forgot. But we got the Golden Gate Bridge. We're walking about, 10 miles to this downtown San Francisco. It was a nice walk, by the way. I was talking to some people from Poland, from Germany, France, Argentina, Chile, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia. It was amazing. There's all these different cultures coming together and talking about what they're doing. And it's crazy because we all have one thing in common, is that we're all here to be and learn as an entrepreneur, you know? Anyway, back to the culture shock thing. So we get to this children's playground. Where's the bathroom? Because I have to pee, right?
Yeah.
And I walk in. I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. Gender neutral bathroom. But I walk in. It's like old guys next to little girls in the same bathroom.
Shut up.
And there's like a sink in the middle, and there's like stalls in there. And it really freaked me out because like there's no cameras in there. It was really weird, man. I was like, man, these children are like right next to old guys, and you don't know what the fuck had happened, you know, especially at night.
That's crazy.
So it freaked me out.
It
was really, really freaked me out. And I would never want my children in that kind of situation. But the first night was crazy.
Wait, hang on. Let's unpack that real quick. Do you think that's just like blind trust that they're doing? Or do you look at it more like, like it has to just be like just blindly trusting the community, right? To do the right thing. Yeah. Isn't that what they're doing there? Isn't that what I mean?
Something like that. But I wouldn't trust the community to do that because it was just so radically different. And, you know, out of like 1,000 people, it's probably like one guy or girl that's going to be like, okay, I can probably take advantage of the situation. And,
yeah.
I was thinking about it. Would you want your children going to the bathroom next to this old guy?
No, not at all.
No. And, anyway, so that was just a huge culture shock for me.
Yeah. When I was growing up in the 90s, like you would hear about kids getting stolen. Like, my mom was super protective of my younger sister. Mm-hmm. Like she would always make us watch her all the time. Whenever we would go anywhere, the mall, the store, one of the boys was always watching my sister Katie. Like it was always a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah.
So, you know, we were downtown first day. And then from here on, when I tell these stories, it's all been kind of a blur because I can't really say exactly what happened day by day, both legally and by my memory.
How many NDAs did you sign?
2.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
1 before or 2 before?
1 before, 1 during.
Wow,
and
really?
Then there's some conversations I've had with some people I can never ever repeat.
So yeah, so it sounds like so are you coming back a Freemason is what you're saying?
Fuck no, dude. Absolutely not. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
Kidding.
So anyway, yeah, like I said, from here on out, I'm just gonna talk about some of the most memorable experience I've had.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah. So one day we had a exercise where, you know, by the time we started this, everybody was there. So we sat down and the main room in the morning, they gave us a team to be with. They drew like the team names from this hat, like Harry Potter style. It was pretty cool. And you had a team. So how it works is like there's 60 people there, right? And each team has like 5 or 6 people, and every team has a different team name. So there's Team Lightning, Team Catalyst, Team Wizards, Aliens, whatever, right? So I was Team Catalyst, right? Mm-hmm. And in my team, I had four people, right? And we all had different companies, right? One was a Bitcoin company. I really bring him on this podcast one day, but cool guy. And so the exercise after that was, let me back up. So first off, every morning we're to say the oath for Drape University. And it's like really? A card. Yeah, it was on the back of our name tags. So we had an oath.
What was the oath?
It was like, I will protect freedom at all costs.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, it was great. I wish I brought my name tag here so I could recite the oath, but it was an amazing oath. It's like affirmations for entrepreneurs. It was really cool.
Wow.
And a lot with it stuck with me because I get the point of the exercise was to do that and like learn from and, you know, have some basic core values, because if you're going to give somebody $1 million+ you want them to follow these rules and not fuck up. Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But one of the most memorable exercises from like week 1 was, oh yeah. And by the way, every morning we had a meeting and to make sure everybody was there. And if all your team didn't show up, you had to jump into the pool fully clothed.
Like the swimming pool?
Yeah, the swimming pool. So I did that many times because one of my teammates had a horrible reputation of not showing up. And so...
Wait, did they have to jump in the pool when they came in?
Yeah. So like so there's 5 people in your team. If one person doesn't show up without a good excuse, like, oh, I'm in a meeting, you all have to go in the pool, fully clothed. Just jump in. I did like 6-7 times.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It's a fucking cold pool too. It's really, really cold. Anyway, one of the most memorable exercises from week 1 was we all went into the main lobby, the hotel, and we were in 2 lines, side by side, and we were walking around the campus, and we each had like a minute, 2 minutes to describe what we're doing to each other, and then we'd switch. So you see what I'm saying? We had 2 lines,
I think so.
Yeah, okay. So you talk side by side with somebody, and then the side by side switches. One person goes up front, other person stays stagnant. So you'd be talking to somebody every different 2 minutes, right?
Okay.
And the leader of the line was Tim Draper. He was there. Yeah, he was there in person. It was really cool. Yeah, Drapes was there.
Wow.
And
did he have Bitcoin just falling out of his pocket?
No, he had a Bitcoin tie though.
Oh, he did?
He had a Bitcoin tie. So then we were walking.
So he walks around in a Bitcoin tie.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a hardcore Bitcoiner, man. He's really cool. Dang. I'll talk more about that later. But
okay.
So the point of the line was
I feel like he just has like, cold cards just coming out of his pockets.
Dude, I wish. But
open dimes just coming out of his shoe.
But I talked to him a lot. He really likes me, man. He's a really cool guy.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
He is a very stand-up guy. He's very down to earth, very humble. You wouldn't think he's a billionaire the way he acts. It's like he wants to be a part of us, It's really cool. And he even said that this program is his favorite time of the year because he gets to experience and talk to different people all around the world. Very nice guy.
I would imagine.
Tim is very cool. He's not in the club either, I don't think, because reasons. But anyway, so back to this exercise. So we were all walking the line, walking around campus. Then we start walking around the town, right? We walk all the way down to this park for about 2 miles. And he's like, okay, let's start running. I'm like, what? So we were running back to the campus. Mind you, I'm in a fucking suit. I thought we were just be walking, right?
Wow.
So I'm in my boots and my suit. I'm sweating my ass off. My fucking turtleneck, my suit, right? So I'm like sweating. I am almost next in line. So I literally am chasing Tim Draper as a VC. So I'm like, I was literally chasing VCs. It was pretty funny. Wow. And like there's a moment where I was like running. I was like, man, I'm literally chasing the VC right now. It's like kind of like a metaphor for like what I want to do, a very cool moment. But then,
do they have a lot of those where it was like,
yeah,
it was saying 3 or 4 different things at once?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So then it's my turn to talk to him. And the whole time I was trying to think of for him to memorize my pitch. And while I was running, I really thought of a great pitch. It's that in case you get screwed, let me think about it for a second.
In case you get screwed.
Hold on a second. In case you get screwed, use protection for your Bitcoin payments, Lightning escrow, right? And I was like, okay, so what's the best metaphor for protection? A shield? Okay, that's pretty cool, but not cool enough. Mm-mm. Armor? No.
I already know where you're going with this.
A condom.
Oh, Lord.
So in case you get screwed, protect your payments like a condom. So I was like, okay, that's the pitch to Tim. And I had 30 seconds to talk to him, right? So I said that to Tim, and he loved it. He started laughing. And he remembered me from Draper X. Oh, that's right. Lightning escrow, of course.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so I gave him that pitch. He loved it. And then my turn ended. But man, he really left an impression on me because he remembered me. He remembered what I was doing. He was a really nice guy. And it was just nice. And so we get back, and then that night.
So your star's rising is what you're saying.
Yeah, my star will continue to rise. Did I, Nick? I'm coming for you, Nick. I'm just kidding. But so that night.
Was he there too or no?
No.
Oh,
Nick wasn't there.
That'd be cool.
So then that night, we go back into the campus. They gave us a speech. Oh, wait, let me back up. So after the run, we all went around the pool, gathered around the pool. Tim gave a speech on like entrepreneurship. And he's like, sometimes you take that first step into the hard things of life. And he steps into the pool in his suit and just jumps in the pool.
Oh, nice.
So I took off my clothes. I was one of the first people to jump into the pool. And it was cool, man. It was really, really cold. Like by the time everybody jumped into the pool, you saw the steam from the pool coming because the pool was freezing. And everybody was hot.
This was at the San
university.
Mateo.
Yeah, at the university.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then after that, we went upstairs to shower, went back downstairs. Excuse me. And they said, okay, now you have to write 101 goals outside your door for your dorm. I was like, okay, how do we do that? And he showed us. He took a marker and he wrote on the wall. I was like, what the hell is he doing? And every single wall in Draper University is a whiteboard, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Because as I noticed and continued to walk back to my room, like there was just messages from older cohorts from like 10 years ago sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really, really cool. And some companies I've known about.
Yeah.
You've heard of, but they're just right there. The team was right there.
And they had gone through.
Yeah, they gone through it. It was really cool.
Interesting. How long has that been around for? How many years?
I think 10 years exactly.
Wow. So it's been around for a decade. I wonder why no one really talks about it.
It's a very quiet program. They don't really market to other people because most people who go to the program are referred to by other alumni. It's really cool. And which makes sense because like you don't want everybody going to this program. It's for like select people. Because 70% of people who go through the program get funded. That's a real statistic from the website.
70%?
70%, yeah. Whoa. Whether it be him, his associates, or somebody else. But it's like a badge of honor, man, going through that program. Because it's hard. Because when you talk to VC and they ask about it, you can tell all these stories, right? And essentially what it is like a test to make sure you're not an idiot. Anyway, so that night, every wall is a whiteboard. We had to write outside of our door 100 goals from memory on what we want to do before we die. So I was like, okay, this will be easy. I have like a list of goals in my room anyway.
Yeah, really you've always talked about that.
Because setting goals is one of the most important qualities of anybody, right?
Yeah,
if you don't set goals, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think,
and most people don't, which is the craziest part.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like every year, I write a goal list now. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like, what do I want to accomplish this year? And then it's good to look at it every once in a while during the year, and then see how far you've what you've accomplished.
Yeah, and every year, more and more goals get achieved by me. Like last year, I achieved 80% of the goals I set. I set 100.
Nice.
Anyway, so I'm at my door. I do this from memory, right? And my neighbors come out. I meet them. There's some really cool people I'd love to talk about later. But my neighbors, and we're all sitting there, middle of the night, writing down our goals. And the first 20 were easy. It's like, okay, boom, done, 20. But it really, really got deep because once you wrote those first 20, it's like, okay, what do you want to immediately do with your life? Easy. Okay, who do you want to be in your life? 20 to 40, right? 40 to 60, who are you? 60 to 80, what legacy you want to leave? 80 to 100, it's like, what is ultimately what you want to do with your life?
Most important.
Yeah, the most absolutely important. And it got really deep, man. I was there for about an hour. I did it all 100, but it was really hard, man. It made me think a lot. It was a very memorable exercise. But the next day,
pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It was great. And the next, activity that was memorable was, I'm not sure if I can talk about it, but I'm not going to go too specific into it, but it was an exercise on where we had to make a fake company and do the financials for it. And
make a fake company.
Yeah, it was like they gave us. I can't get too specific, but it was a lot of teamwork, right? And I was with my team. It was one of the first team exercises we had, and it got pretty heated because we're all Type A personalities. We're all entrepreneurs, so to follow as a team is really hard for not only me but for my others as well. And man, there's so much on this list I wish I could talk about. It was really fun. And
so what kind of company did you guys have to create? An actual real company?
Yeah, we had to make something too. We had to actually physically make it too. That was the hardest part. But it worked.
Good exercise, really worked. Sounds like.
And, again, while we were doing all these kinds of things, Tim was there talking to all of us one-on-one. It's like, what are you doing? Give us advice on how to do this. And there was a moment where him and I locked eyes. He just gave me a thumbs up. I was like, oh, cool. It was really nice. It was really nice. What else? I got stuck in the elevator once. That was not fun. I got stuck in the elevator with no shirt, no shoes. I had to go downstairs with like no shirt, no shoes. It was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I went to TechCrunch. That was pretty cool.
Wait, really?
The TechCrunch event.
Wait, did you speak there?
No. I wasn't speaking. I had the chance, but I didn't do that.
But they were doing, don't they do their crunchies or whatever?
It was called Tech Week from TechCrunch, right? So it was this big, huge, what is it called? Event space, right? Like Bitcoin Miami. It was huge, man. There's a lot of cool booths there.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine. Dude.
A lot of shitcoin companies. It was a mess.
Were you the only Bitcoin company there?
I was one of three.
One of three Bitcoin companies?
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin only companies or Bitcoin and crypto?
Okay, I was the only Bitcoin company.
You're the only Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So for people listening,
I was dropping orange pills left.
So the people that are listening, Tristan was the only. His company, Lightning Escrow, was the only company in Draper U.
So there was me.
And then the rest of them were crypto
so there's me.
companies.
There was Deba.io. Gideon's a great guy, by the way. And then
he's crypto?
Yeah, I can't say too much. And then there was another one called Poly. It was like Bitcoin Cash Back, but he was like he was close with the WEF. So that was kind of disappointing.
No, but was he the crypto stuff or was it just
I talked about that with him. He's like, no, man, like listen, I'm like, no.
Bitcoin only? Or?
Yeah, he's a bit of a shitcoiner, but great guy nonetheless. Great idea.
So you're the only hard-in Bitcoiner?
Yeah, pretty much. I was the only pleb.
Wow.
Only pleb there.
Wow. I wonder if you were like were you that much different than a lot of the other people there? I mean, I know obviously because of but as far as morals and there's certain things that you meet another Bitcoiner, you can kind of expect that. Did you have to, when you met all these other people, were you kind of thinking they're not Bitcoiners. How do I?
No. So there's other companies that were not Bitcoin or cryptocurrency related at all. So there's like construction companies, there was medical companies, there's biotech companies.
But they were very fiat focused or no?
It wasn't so much fiat, just like their industry, like SaaS and cloud-based. There's a really, really cool company I love to death. Enware.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Oh my God, I really, really hope they succeed. Great team.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, they're yeah, sure. So there's an ad for Enware. Shout out Enware, but they're a cloud computing company for gaming, right? So you can play any game anywhere. That's kind of.
I wonder how they're going to get away with that though.
I talked about with them.
Was they just using ROMs or something, or like you're talking about like from any decade, or just like from
just
new
games like GTA and stuff like that. So that's probably my favorite company of the whole cohort.
And they're different than Steam.
Oh yeah, because you can play like GTA on your phone, stuff like that. Really cool stuff. And the computer you're using is like in the cloud. So that was amazing. I was talking to them for hours.
Wow. Sorry.
And so back to the TechCrunch event, we get there and they're like, "Oh, you need a Vax Pass to get in." I'm like, "Are you shitting me?"
Really?
Yeah. So I went to Target.
To get into the TechCrunch
I know,
event?
dude. It's so bad.
Why?
I don't know. It was so fiat, man. And I went.
Are they not over COVID over there?
No, dude. It's so bad.
Well, why though?
I don't know, because it's California, man.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't, dude. Because like here in Texas, it's like gone, right? But in California, they still pretty much enforce 60%. What it was.
Are they locked down still over there? They can't get out after 6 p.m. or something?
No.
It's not that bad then.
No, it's not that bad. But it's like it's there and it's annoying. So go to Target, get a pass. I spit in the vial because I don't want to put it up my nose. And I just show them this like super official looking piece of paper. Like, okay, you're fine, get in. But I had to go to this management and ask them for permission. It's so stupid. So stupid. But the event itself was really cool. I saw a lot of cool companies. The event itself was okay, but it was worth going to because I met a lot of cool people. I talked to JP Morgan Chase about some things. But now after the whole Kanye thing with him shutting his bank account down, I doubt I'm going to go with them at all.
Wait, could you watch TV while you're over there? Could you get the internet?
Watch TV? Oh yeah, of course.
So they didn't like shut you guys down like Hunger Games, right? No. You guys weren't like.
Not
did
yet.
you have a Hunger Games thing?
Yeah, so I'll get to that in a second.
Do you know? Did I ever tell you this? I don't think I told you this. When we were at the old Pleb Lab, one of the best advice I ever got over there. I would everybody would talk over there, and one of the guys, he had been there for a while. I think he was like one of the one of the mentors there or whatever. He was like, "You know what book you need to read?" And I was expecting him to say like all these other other books, right? Because I probably had read them all already. But he was like, "Read the Hunger Games," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You read the Hunger Games, that'll explain everything about being a startup and surviving." And then, so I didn't read the Hunger Games, but I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. If you picture your startup as Katniss, no, seriously. If you picture your startup, hear me out. It's not wrong. If you picture your startup as Katniss and you watch the movie with that approach, you come to realize like, oh crap. It almost like things, you start seeing things differently inside the movie. It's kind of like watching, you're probably too young for this, but
bro,
there was Pink Floyd,
I listened to
Dark Side of the Moon, right? And like you could time that up with the Wizard of Oz. I don't know if you knew this. You time it up and it goes perfect with the movie. So when you watch the Hunger Games with that mindset, it feels like that. That's the only kind of analogy I can come up with. But did you have a Hunger Games inside of
I'll get to that in a second.
I feel like you did.
So we had what's called Survival Week.
Did somebody not come back?
Yeah, people dropped out after that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was hard. So before Survival Week, we had to make presentations on like safety and stuff. And again, I can't get too specific because I don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But we gave presentations on how to be safe. Oh man, we had one guy come in. I can't say his name. I can't tell you what he did. I can't tell you what he talked about, but man, he was a hardcore motherfucker.
Like military guy or something?
Maybe.
Wow.
But
dang.
I can't say much. But man, this guy was a badass dude.
Yeah.
And I did research on him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist.
You cannot
find him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I can't say too much about him.
Yeah,
or the guys he works with. Because
we can't afford the heat on this pod.
Yeah. So we learned about that. We had about 2 days to prepare and pack. And I met a guy from Yale who's a researcher, like building his own chips. That was really cool. Nice conversation. What else? Went to the bar. I danced for the first time in my life. That was fun.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was fun because I never danced before. I never had
know how to dance.
I mean, I know how to, but like I never had the like. I don't know. It was just like a cool.
Like
moment.
You went salsa dancing or something?
Yeah, pretty much. I was dancing to Argentina girls and guys, and they're just like teaching me stuff. It was hilarious.
Wow. You know who can dance really well?
What?
You know who can dance really well?
Kyle.
Logan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I go swing dancing. Oh man, I miss Logan. Shout out Logan.
Shout out Logan.
All right, so I'm putting the journal away. I'm gonna get to the juicy stuff now.
Wait, that was your journal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like the minor stuff, but now
just get into the Hunger Games stuff.
Survival week. This is the part I really can't talk about because it was crazy. But I'll tell you what.
Somebody die?
No one died.
You should have just said.
Someone almost died.
Really?
Yeah. It was hard, man. So survival week was borderline. I can't get too much, but borderline military.
Like boot camp?
Yeah. I can't get too specific, but.
Did you guys go to Saudi Arabia or something?
No. We went to the middle of this forest in an undisclosed location.
In California?
Middle of nowhere, maybe. But
in Nevada. Were there aliens there?
No. Nothing like crazy, but.
Joshua Tree.
No. Borderline military training. They pushed me. Again, I can't get too specific. They pushed me mentally and physically beyond what I thought I was capable of.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Did you have water there?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. That was a huge thing. Is water.
So they didn't like not give you water.
No. It was but it was hard, man. People broke their legs, hands.
Really?
Feet. Yeah. There was a
Did people just say no, I don't want to do it?
Yeah, some people dropped out after that. It was hard.
Like during that, could you have dropped out during that?
Yeah, you had the choice. It was all up to you if you want to join or not. But it was hard, man.
Wait, so wait, hang on. I just want to get this caveat there. Just so people at home can understand. Like, so you got the opportunity to go do this Survivor Week, but could you have opted out of that and then just stayed back?
Yep.
Okay.
Most people didn't make it. I think like 10 plus people dropped out.
And then so were they still allowed back in Draper?
Yeah. There was no problem. You don't get in trouble or anything. But if you did survive this week.
Did you survive?
Of course I survived. I almost dropped out.
Really?
I was so close to dropping out.
Is that the whole point of the thing where they're trying to get you to drop out?
To make sure you're not soft, because there was a specific moment where there was one exercise we had to do. Again, I can't tell you what I did, but Tim was watching. By the way, Tim was there the whole time. He's there the whole time. So he's like watching us do the stuff, and he has I saw his phone. He has a list of pages of notes about all of us and like what we do. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. He has his shit locked down, and Tim's really smart, man. He is really smart. He's like me. It's like you have your public life, then you have your separate life. And I got a peek of it, and oh my God, I can never repeat what I talked about with these people. And again, I can't tell you who I talked to because there's like, these people don't exist. He hired some people that I can never, ever talk about. And I had some conversations with them. Oh man, my OPSEC is totally going to change. I thought I was locked down before, but man, they know everything about me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because they had to. Like, if you're going to hang out with these strangers, they have the government to make sure you're not going to murder them, right?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, enough of that. Survival week. So there was exercises we had to do. We had to sleep outside in tents. It was freezing cold. It was freezing cold, dude. Both in the air and the water. It was terrible. And by the way, the whole time we're here, Tim's also sleeping outside. Tim is right next to us the whole time. He's running next to us. Yeah.
Really?
He's right next to us. He's a fit guy. He's very fit. He's very healthy for his age, which is very surprising.
How old is he? Is he in his 80s or 70s?
60s, 70s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Great guy. And we did all these outdoor activities. It was exhausting. We hiked 74 miles the entire time we were there.
74 miles?
74 miles between 7 days. It was a lot.
That's a lot of days.
Yeah, man. Again, I can't get too specific, but there was...
Did you see, okay, let me just
ask questions. Okay, I'll see if I can answer them.
Yeah. So I guess the question I want to know most importantly is like, who came in first out of that? What place did you come in? Was there a place, or the whole point of it was just to see who could last?
Survive. There's like many competitions throughout there and there, but the whole point was to survive. If you didn't survive, you
how many people actually finished?
Like, you don't 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So out of the 60, 40 actually finished?
Some people passed out, man. It was hard. It was really hard. I was freezing cold. I was hot.
Were you chasing chickens or anything like that?
Can't talk about that, but
you were chasing chickens.
I can't talk about it.
Dang, that's crazy. Why would you be chasing chickens?
I had blood on my hands. I had warm blood on my hands.
Wait, did you have to kill like chickens or something?
All right, I can probably talk about that. I had to kill my own food at one point. Man, I had some of the worst food of my life there.
Just like tuna or something, or what?
Oh God, not even that. That was a luxury. That was a luxury, dude.
Were you eating like those MREs or whatever?
No, I was eating like just fucking like just. I think the worst meal I had was peanut butter and rice. That's it.
Peanut butter rice?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Like sticky rice?
No, we had like
Spanish rice?
We had to sneak in food too, because like so one of the things there that I learned is that break the rules, right? If you stick to all the rules, you're not going to survive, right? So if you broke the rules, you had a better chance of surviving, such as life, right? Because there's no really rules. There's laws in life, no rules, right? And so there's parts where I snuck in Crunch bars and like, oh man, I've never appreciated foods or water so much after that.
Did you have to like create your own water thing or whatever, like sift through your own water?
Pretty much.
Like, did you have to drink your own pee?
No, I brought a live straw though, but thank God I did.
Did you have to eat poop?
No, I didn't have to eat poop with the help car. But
you never know, man. I don't know. I would drop out there.
It was hard. It was really hard, man. And there's one point where
I'm like, hey, sorry, Drapes, I'm not gonna eat this poop. Yeah. Was it like X Factor where you had to like eat bugs and stuff?
No bugs.
Oh, okay.
No, none of that WEF shit. But I wish I could get so specific, but
did you ever have to like control fire?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I'll tell one story. So there's a story or a part of the trip where we were all around a campfire just telling stories, like all 40 of us that survived. And
like ghost stories or what?
Yeah, absolutely. We're telling ghost stories. Tim was telling stories about his experience in business and stuff like that. It was a nice, cozy moment. There was a point in the program where, by the way, the one advice I got from staff on how to survive. Oh man, the first day. Oh, I can talk about that because it's on camera. So the whole time, by the way, they pulled me and 7 other people aside. They said, "Listen, we think you're one of the most viable companies in this program. We want to put you in our documentary, right?" So I can talk about the first day because it's on camera. You can watch on YouTube. So the first day, survival day, was a scavenger hunt. We had to get on the train, go to San Francisco, and we had to go all the way downtown. We walked 15 miles with 80 pounds. I had to carry 80 pounds worth of shit on my back.
What was it? What was inside that bag?
My bag, Gideon's bag. He had 2 duffel bags, and then Nicolina's bag. She had a
so your
backpack.
Team?
Yeah, I was carrying my team's backpack because they were just bitching. Yeah.
Okay.
They were bitching all the time. I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to carry your shit. So I was carrying all this stuff for miles upon miles. And we had to go from Chinatown to this other part of the city, to this other part of the city, to this dock.
What were you trying to look for?
They gave us a list of clues.
Like a cipher?
Yeah, like some ciphers. And by the way, I can talk about this because it's like on camera, so I don't mind it. But when we got to the end of it, and the end of it was the Golden Gate Bridge. And
did you guys have to jump?
What?
Did you have to jump?
No, we didn't have to jump. But then
you never know, man.
But then we walked across Golden Gate Bridge. And that was just a clusterfuck. Again, can't get too specific, but my team fucked up, man. Like, there's miscommunications.
You guys didn't have a leader in that team? You didn't try to lead?
No, dude. I tried. Everywhere there's like, we all try to lead. That's the thing. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned during Survival Week is teamwork and being a good follower sometimes because, I'm a natural leader and I always want to take charge because I want to do things the way I know and the way I want to do it. But so did everybody else. So there was at a certain point, I was like, okay, I'm just going to let these guys do their thing. And I'm going to follow, right?
Yeah.
So learning how to be a good follower makes you a better leader because I've never really experienced the other side of the coin, right? But in doing so, you learn a lot and how to lead from these other people. So that was really one of the biggest lessons I learned during Survival Week was the leadership part. But
yeah, it really comes down to soft touches, man. It doesn't require much more than that. It's just like be an example for the team. And then willing to do the soft touches, and that's it. That's like when you're around a group of leaders like that, it's like really simple. But yeah.
But I think one of the worst moments of Survival Week was in the middle of the night. I had a spear. I was guarding the campsite from panthers and stuff. 2 in the morning. So we all had shifts. Yeah.
Like bobcats?
Yeah, dude. And there were wild animals on site. I saw a bobcat. I almost got into a fight with one, but We were definitely safe. There's people there protecting us. Again, I can't say who exactly it was, but there were some badass motherfuckers.
They let like scorpions come in and
no, nothing like that. But there's a point in one of the middle of the nights where you heard like a cow screaming. It was getting eaten alive. And one woke us all up, and they sat us down and said, "Listen, like this happens, so you guys can't do this tonight because of the dangers of that."
What happened? Were you hunting with like a bow and arrow or something?
Maybe,
Whoa.
maybe not.
Did you guys use guns?
Maybe we did.
Whoa.
Maybe we did. Who knows?
Did you guys just use straight up knives?
Maybe we did. Who knows?
Did you guys ever just like straight up fight each other?
I can't say.
Like in gladiator style?
I can't say too much, but maybe
did you guys go to?
Maybe.
Yeah, I would imagine. Did you have to fight alligators?
No alligators, but maybe I got shot in the chest with some
with a bullet.
Bullets. Who knows?
Wow, dude.
But yeah,
I don't know. Man. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like putting on a bulletproof vest and then trusting that the bullet's not going to go through.
No. It wasn't. They weren't real bullets, but
rubber bullets.
Yeah.
It's like check that Kevlar.
Yeah. There was a lot of war games.
It sounds like
that.
To me, when
like
you're just
actual hardcore.
To me, it sounds like. To me, what it sounds like you're describing is just like this mind game that they're playing to get you to drop out and then see what you're made of. Basically, the whole point of it is just to see what you're made of and like who's willing to go to the extreme for it.
There was a moment. One of the most memorable moments of Survival Week was I was at this lake and we had to do something so outrageous. And it was my turn to do it. And Tim's like, wait a minute. Where's your team? You all have to do it at once. And he looked right at me and he smiled and he was waiting for me to jump into the freezing cold water. And he knew it. I read his mind. He was thinking, he's like, if you don't do this, it's not going to happen. I was like, okay, fine. So I looked at him. I just looked and just huffed and I just fucking jumped into this freezing ass water. And then we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the most key moments I remember was that mental barrier just being abolished. There was another moment where there was one of the instructors and he was teaching us how to survive these military-like situations. And I panicked, because it's hard. Everybody's panicking, right? You're being chased, may not have been shot at, who knows? But there was a lesson where he gathers up and he said, like, listen, Tristan, you did this wrong because of this. And he called it war fog. War fog is when you're doing something so intense, you forget the main objective. And it's like something I really, really remember to this day. And I probably will forever remember.
It's interesting.
The term war fog, because you look at business and you get so involved with like
the day-to-day
and you don't know what the main goal is. You'll always review your goals.
Yeah.
And having war fog prevents you from achieving those goals. And you start to panic when you don't overcome this war fog. And that was really a cool lesson I learned from that. But
yeah, there's something to be said about like, I think the way I always described it was like your ground game and your air game, right? Like your air game is like these lofty goals, the vision that you have for what you want to do with your company. And then your ground game, which is like the day-to-day operations where you can really get stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
But if you start fearing like absolute death or whatever, like, yeah, dude, that's going to drive down the team. That's going to drive down yourself.
Yeah,
it's going to make you more stressed out. But it's why it's important to remain resilient.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's interesting they called it war fog, though.
It's a real term that they learned during their
So profession. Let me ask you a question, because I don't think I've ever asked you this before. Did you play in sports as a child or no?
Yeah. So when I was a kid,
do you see like when you're okay? Let's look at it this way. When you when you were playing sports as a child, right? Like, and as a teenager, do you conduct business like that? Or now that you kind of been through this, do you conduct business different now because you see it more as war? I guess my question is has your conducting business changed your mindset of how you used to do it?
This is a great question.
How you do it now?
This is a great question. So let me answer this.
What are you drinking?
Water.
Wait, is that straight from the tap?
No, it's from the filtered water. I only drink filtered water. So there's two parts of this. There's reading about history and military history, and there's athletics, right? Reading about military history is, I think, crucial for business and entrepreneurs because you learn the mistakes of and how to conduct business as a leader and how to lead teams as a leader. Like, for example, Napoleon, Caesar, and some other people that you can really, really learn from. But Essentially what business is, especially today, is the war without bullets. You think about it, it's between other countries, other companies, other people, and it really is a war without bullets. And that's why I love business, because if I wasn't in business, I would probably be doing something in the military. So there's that aspect of reading about military history. And then there's also, what's this? Okay, let me back up. When I was a kid, I played, for no reason, basketball. I was terrible at it. I played for like a month.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of lacrosse. High school, I did wrestling for a year.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did wrestle.
Yeah, I did construction for 10 years, ever since I was like 9 years old. One of my earliest memories.
I remember you telling me this.
My hands were bleeding from shoveling.
Yeah,
that was fun. I really miss doing that sometimes, working in the sun,
digging ditches.
Yeah. But for the longest time, for 6 years, I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, judo, a little bit of Muay Thai, and just Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. So it was a lot of fun, man. And I think it's like chess, because when you fight somebody, it really reveals on who they are. And because their fighting style and how they react in a very panicky situation breaks down the barrier of their ego and who they are. Because when you're fighting somebody, it's like very primal, and the style of fighting and the style of reacting to punches and being in a submission shows you how they react, and shows how you react to situations in life. And it's really cool. But once you learn how to control that and how to calmly fight and get rid of that war fog you go through, you can achieve a lot. Because, fighting is really, really hard. And some of the smartest people I know are also do jiu-jitsu for the same reason, because it's like chess with your body. And by the way, I love chess. If you play chess and do jiu-jitsu and read about the military history, it's over. Like, you're gonna be one of the best business leaders ever. And if you do it right, in my opinion. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing sports. In fact, when I get a salary again when I start paying myself for my company, I'm going to go back and do jiu-jitsu, because I really miss it, man. I love boxing. Yeah. I love jiu-jitsu. It's a lot of fun, man. And you meet a lot of cool people doing it too, as well.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
It's always good to test your strength among others, right? Man, dude, it sounds like you had a blast.
I had a blast. So there's so much more. There was people from.
So I guess, okay. So once you got through Survivor, Hunger Games week, then you came back. Did you guys have to present your company at any point?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to show Lighting Escrow?
Absolutely. So we were pitching almost every other day on stage, and at first it was really nerve wracking. There were some moments where they had some judges that were very, very high level people in the industry, in San Francisco in general. And they were just fucking shitting on us left and right. Like, oh, this pitch is so bad. You need to change this, change that. And at first my pitch sucked. It looked okay. It wasn't the best. And I felt like I was back at a Kappa factory that first day, when you prepared me for the first ever pitch I had. I felt like that again, but at a different level of achievement, So I changed my pitch entirely. I changed the structure of the pitch entirely. And I actually met a guy there. I want to give him a shout out. His name is Nick from Vocal Image. He has an app that helps you learn how to speak again in a proper manner. And there was a session where, she was my style of learning. So I left that session because I wanted to learn from this other guy on how to speak properly. And he really, really helped me a lot.
Is it like a application?
It's an app for your voice, and it uses AI. It's really, really cool.
I think that's really important.
It is. So
quite honestly,
I learned from him. You take a pen and put it in your mouth, and you talk slower, and it actually exercises your muscles in your face. And I actually use the app every day now because it's so important. I think everybody should use it for learning how to speak. But anyway, that's enough of that ad.
You definitely have. Yeah, I remember when you first came in, that was one of the biggest.
Dude, it was hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, so back to the original point. We were pitching every day. And at the end of the program, we had pitch day, right? In front of not only Tim, but his partners and these other people from all these other name brand venture capitals. And I had a great pitch.
Were they talking about the FTX stuff?
Yeah, they were. So that came up a lot during that.
What did they say? Can you say?
In fact, yeah. So I can say this because it's a public announcement. I stayed an extra week at the program because on the 28th, we had the founder, Doug Leone of Sequoia Capital, come.
Wasn't he one of the?
Yeah, he was.
What was his reasoning?
He didn't talk about it at all. I actually avoided some of the questions he got. But man, it was so worth the extra week staying to see him talk. And he gave, so that at the event, there's no phones, no cameras, no mics allowed. It was a totally private event. Like if you had anything, they would kick you out.
Yeah.
It was really locked down tight. Like there was security, they were checking your pockets and stuff, checking your bags. It was really, really tight. And there's some stuff I cannot repeat.
Yeah.
Because it was like totally unfiltered. And man,
tell us the stuff that you can say.
Sure. So there was.
I'm really interested to see like what they said about the FTX stuff. Can you?
They didn't really talk about that. Like somebody asked about it, but they changed the subject pretty fast. He was like, "Yeah, it was a mistake. We'll learn from." Blah blah blah.
Oh, next really?
Question. Was that? What? He was pissed. Of course, he was pissed. He lost billions. But
interesting.
Yeah, that was a really, really cool event. I learned a lot. I think about venture capital differently now because
give us some of that.
If you need money for your company, you're not going to make it because, I mean, it depends because right now we're in one of the toughest times ever to start a business because he was saying like, oh, a year ago, we were funding everything, left and right, overvaluations, whatever. But now if you can start a company and it succeeds, you're going to do great when you come out of this recession because it's not only one of the hardest times to start a company, but one of the best times because, in 2020, 2021, there's just so many bullshit companies coming out that were so overvalued. Like, for example, Rivian. You know how much they're worth today?
How much?
BMW is worth $60 billion. Right? They've been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Or 100 plus years. Wait, no, almost 100 years, right? Rivian, which is now the Amazon company for makes electric trucks, they're worth $80 billion. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous because they had no products when they're worth that much, and they don't have the name brand BMW does, which is ridiculous. So that's like one example of overvaluation of a company. But anyway, so back to the original point.
But so just no, I just want to talk about that for a second because that's kind of one of the things that I realize is, I would say in the past 3-4 months here at Pleb Lab, I really feel like we have to go back to the old way of doing business. Like the way it was where you literally made it work with what you had. Right.
And that's how it was.
And the person that got me thinking down this route, and he probably doesn't even realize it now because at the time I was just producing and I was behind the scenes and was NBK. Mm-hmm. So NBK did a podcast with Marty, and I was sitting in that room and I remember him talking about this. And this was probably back in like March or April. And I remember that when I came out of that pod, I remember thinking like that just like hit home with me about how if you can't make your company work with the capital that you already have, then it's probably not worth, keep running with it. You know what I mean? Like it's probably not better. It's probably not good just to chase it. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember that having a big impact on me. So one of the things I've always said was like, we need revenue. We need to make it work with what we have and what little we have. And then we need to show growth. And that for me is like is what makes me like really hard in these days. Yeah. And it's funny that they were saying that because I've been feeling like that for about 4 months already.
Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things I learned too is that, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't raise a pre-seed. Oh my gosh. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Why?
Because, well, 2 things. So one, had I raised a pre-seed, separate story, I would be in a lot of legal shit right now because of what happens with the,
Yeah.
But now, I would honestly suggest for companies listening to this podcast right now,
startups,
for
entrepreneurs,
Bitcoiners,
plebs,
don't raise a pre-seed for as long as possible. But when you do, have a working product and raise a seed round amount for your pre-seed. Because I got there, I was presenting, and I was raising half what I'm raising now because I got there and people were presenting how much they're raising. And mind you, some of these companies were, I'm sorry, but some of these companies were absolute shit, right?
The ones that you were.
Yeah, there was like a couple companies I was like, oh, come on. It's like so stupid. And they pay to go to this program. So like, I get it. They're there to learn. It's just Keon waving.
Yeah.
Mr. Stacker
news. Dude, there's so we went to, I don't want to change the subject because it sounds really important. Anyway, keep going. We'll talk about it next time.
Where was I at?
Oh, you were saying that like most of these companies that were there didn't have an actual product.
I realized dude, I need to raise so much more because these companies, which were there's a couple that are just absolute dog shit, right? I'm not gonna say who, but I need to raise more because like compared to these guys, I have a great product, and Tim knows, and he's told me I have a great product, right? So I'm like, well, fuck that, I'm gonna raise double. I'm raising now. And so there was a part where I was meeting one of the partners there, and they're like, how much you raising? I was like, this amount. In my head, I was gonna say that. I was like, fuck, I want to say double it. And they didn't blink an eye. They're okay. It's cool. Wrote it down.
And this is where I think Bitcoiners, especially Bitcoin builders, we're just built a little different, man.
Yeah.
It's because we realize that there has to be a foundation. There has to be proof of work and what you're doing. And it requires like, dude, you know how it is. Like you're going to run with like zero capital when you start any type of Bitcoin venture. More than likely, it's going to be open source. So you have to figure out different ways. You got to get really creative, really fast.
If you can't make it work with $0, it cannot work with $1 million.
Yeah.
It's just true because all money does, it expunges pre-existing problems and solutions in your business, right? So if this co-founder issue is happening at $0, once you hit $1 million, it's
going to be exacerbated.
It's going to be a fucking disaster, right?
Yeah.
So have it work at $0. And once you have a solid foundation for everything, okay, 90% of stuff, because, you know, money does solve a lot of problems, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but to Kyle's credit, he's always said it from the very beginning. And this is where I disagreed with him for so long about it. But it's really true. Like if you can't solve problems without money, or if you can't solve problems without money, then they're probably problems not worth solving.
Exactly.
Right. So, and to his credit, he's been right about that. We've been able to solve a lot of problems without money.
Mm-hmm. I know, man. You guys have only done what you currently have with Pleb Lab with not even that much money at all, dude. I was surprised when you told me yesterday. I was like,
pennies, man. This is pennies.
I know, pennies, dude. Pennies on the dollar. But the amount of capital to money ratio, I'm sorry, the amount of work you've done to the ratio of money you've raised so far is insane. I was so surprised. I was like, what? Are you serious? And it's just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
It's a lot of hard work, man. But it's a lot of people contributing though, right? There's a lot of, we've had a lot of help. But that's how it works in Bitcoin. You have to rely on your community when you're building something. This is why I believe like people need help. Come to Pleb Lab. We want to help people because it's the truth, dude.
Oh man.
So, all boats rise, man.
Let me wrap up this Draper you talk a little bit, but then I'll talk about like coming back. So
yeah.
So I learned a lot about how venture capital really works on the like what no one talks about.
The token side?
Oh God, dude. There's so many fucking
Did they bring up the token stuff?
I met the founders of Cosmos. Oh my God, dude.
They were there?
Dude, they were there. Oh man.
Those guys have been.
I met the founders of like.
Those guys have been slinging Cosmos for like 4 years. God, dude, I'm surprised they're not millionaires at this point.
No, dude. It was like, there was other. I went to some events outside of the Draper U thing because it was like SF Tech Week. And I met so many just shit coinery companies like, oh, we have a blockchain for like Filecoin. I'm like, what the fuck is Filecoin?
IPFS what is like trying to do a
God,
thing,
just so many
coin to
so
raise,
much bullshit, man. So much bullshit. And I realized you guys really taught me like, man, like why not just have Bitcoin? I asked these people, I'm like, why not build some Bitcoin? Like, oh, because this is that.
Just because they can't secure the bag.
They can't secure the bag, man. It's a really a shame.
This is why. But you know, honestly, it's not even the VC's fault either, right?
Yeah,
because they're incentivized to get these tokens.
But it is the VC's fault. They
but
know.
But hear this out.
They know.
But here, yeah, they do know, and that's the game. Because right now you're talking about a little significant of time where the SEC is not calling these tokens securities, so they're able to dump on retail, facilitating through Coinbase. Like this is an actual thing, and everybody knows the game, but no one can talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. Because this is the game, and you're expecting entrepreneurs to go in there and not take the bag. You have to be a resilient motherfucker. Sorry for cursing, because that's why Bitcoiners are built a little bit different, man. And this is why it's a lot harder to build on Bitcoin, but it's the right approach.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Sorry.
You're good. So anyway,
but you can't blame the VC. You're literally talking about like a 2-year span where they can do this.
I mean,
4-year span, maybe.
When it comes to billions of dollars in your face, I mean, some people are gonna, give in and say, okay, I'll take the bait, knowing the side effects of what's gonna happen, like FTX and Sequoia. Like I'm sure they knew. No, as smart as this guy was, he knew. He's well aware, and he deserves the billions he lost. But anyway,
a lot of opportunities there, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna wrap that up. So so many VCs came in, talked to us, gave us advice. A lot of great speakers, man. I can't name them.
Yeah.
But my God, I have met some of the smartest people in my life there. Some just amazing companies. There's one or two speakers that were like kind of showing their own company, which like I get. But they gave us some really, really good advice. I have a whole list of notes that I want to.
Yeah, dude. I think ultimately though,
just amazing the things they taught.
I think ultimately though, there's some things you just can't learn anywhere else, right?
And that's the thing is that at first when these speakers came in, my first question was like, "Oh, what are your favorite books?" Right, and then it gave us some great book suggestions. But I realized that like it's not about the books, man. You have to take this experience that you can't get in the book that no one talks about. That they can't talk about, and you put it into action. And I think from now on, like it's not about reading the stuff, but just putting it into action. It's one thing I really, really learned. And my God, man, like the amount of okay, so let's talk about California now. So
I thought we already talked about California.
No. So we're not. We barely talked about it. So
why do you hate California so much?
So I get it. I like San Francisco. I like San Mateo. I like it. It's cool. People there are nice for the most part. The money's there. Great businesses there. Great developers. But I just can't. I might get a second place there and have like a hacker house just for fun, but to live there like months out of the year. But man, my God, Car, it's just so bad, the politics there. It's so bad. Like I think the worst part was when I walked into a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And not only was everybody there making $25 an hour, no problem with that, right? But like, I walk in and there's a fucking like a communist hammer and sickle on a coffee bag, the fucking commie flag in the back. I'm like, are you serious?
Really?
Yeah, it was great coffee, but I never went there again because I didn't see that until like after I walked in and paid.
Wow.
But it was crony capitalism at its worst. You know, it was unreal. And
yeah, you know, it's kind of
there's a lot of woke moments in California, but that said, Tim is not woke at all, which is really nice. But not to get into Tim's politics and what his beliefs are, but I can totally understand why San Francisco is killing themselves because it's such a shame because they have so many great businesses there, so many great people there, and you know all these people from outside of America are coming here expecting roads of gold, when in the reality is that it's here in Austin, and it's no wonder people are going from California and San Francisco to Austin. Yeah. It's no wonder because the politics, the taxes there, the laws. There's some really, really, really weird people there. I met a guy at one event. This is a crazy story, by the way. So I met a guy at an event. He was from China. And he said, "Hey, how's it going? My name is Tristan, blah, blah, blah." I said, "What are you working on?" He said, "Oh, I'm making an unbiased news app for people to learn from." I'm like, "That's great, man. That's really what we need right now." And he said, "No, but listen, honestly, what we really do is influence elections." I'm like, what? And the Democratic Party was funding him to give fake news stories. And he knew this. He didn't care. To give that company money to promote fake news to influence elections for the left, which is ridiculous. Like, and the right, you know? And that really shows you what really goes on in SF. And that's the thing. There's things that he told me, which were obvious and like I kind of knew about, but hearing it in person is something else, man. And can you only imagine? I can only imagine what they don't talk about behind closed doors with all these other companies, and VCs.
The hard truth is like
it was crazy.
The hard truth is you have like, I mean, I'm not trying to call anybody out. That's not what I do. But like the hard truth is you have like these nonprofits like the Bill and Melinda Gates Fund that like do a lot of funding for these media companies.
I know about that,
if you go down the list of like all the funding that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation does, they give millions to a lot of these media publications. And so what that does is that has influence on these media companies that also gets them gives them cover for a lot of things they wouldn't necessarily report on. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a phone call away kind of thing. And unfortunately, like, thank God for like Stacker News and, this pod and like TFTC and like other things like that, where you can actually vote with sats.
By the way, I was talking to some guys from Argentina who have Bitcoin companies, a Bitcoin company in Argentina, and he's heard of Pleb Lab.
Really?
Can you believe that? I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Pleb Lab." He's like, "No way. You guys are hilarious." I'm like, "What?" He's watched PBS before.
Oh wow.
This stranger I met just watched PBS. It's crazy.
PBS, man. It always surprises me that people watch that.
Oh man, it's such a shit show.
We should cancel it.
No, it's not. It's hilarious. I want to keep going. But so coming back, man, there's so much in the program I experienced and learned about. I don't even have.
If you had to take away three things.
Three things. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. What's the three things? What are the three things to go do it? Like, what are the three things to go do it? And then what'd you take back from it? The three main reasons why you should go, and then three things that you took back, I guess. Yeah. You know the question.
By the way, they interviewed me for the documentary. It was really cool. They asked some really cool questions. It'll be on YouTube. So if you guys are like, I want to get a sliver of what I experienced in Draper, the documentary will be on their YouTube channel somewhere. I can probably find it once it's out there. But the three things I
tweet it out.
Send tweet. But repeat the question.
What are the three things? What are the three reasons you should go to Draper U? Yeah.
The first reason is why not?
Okay.
Why not experience something drastically different you will never ever experience again? Right. Second reason.
Yeah. Second thing.
The second thing is that it will really not shift your mindset about being or what being an entrepreneur means, but it'll sharpen it. It'll really sharpen your mind and make you from, a softie, because I would argue that most people nowadays are soft, into like, a hardcore, this is what I'm fucking doing. You better do it with me or else you're not a part of the team kind of mindset. And the third thing is that it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And, going back to the oath they do every single morning, one of the affirmations of the oath is like mostly fun. When we say it, we do a dance. It's kind of ridiculous, but
like at the chicken
seriously,
dance?
Kind of like. But I forgot to have fun sometimes, and that's what we're here for life. That's what all life is about, is having fun and building cool shit. And if you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest things for me, is that have fun with what you're doing. And the three takeaways I had was, that was one of them, is like, have fun with what you're doing. The second is that, give me a second. Let me think about this.
Yeah. Cause I'm curious to see, like, obviously you've changed, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
For sure.
We went to go eat, what did we eat last night? Chewy's last night. Yeah. And we were talking and I could tell that you had changed. Like, you just appear more sharper. I feel like you're a more snappier dresser now.
Thank you.
And then you brought back the Tom Selleck mustache.
I think another one is learning how to be a good follower makes you a better leader.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because
wait, so you're telling me you don't have to lead?
No. So one of the things I had to give up was being the leader all the time, because that's usually what I like to do. And I'm better as a leader than a follower. But there are moments where my team and I had like, had a hackathon, stuff like that. I wish I could talk about that. Yeah. That was really fun, by the way.
Nice. You actually did some coding?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
And we built a really cool product. It was terrible, but it worked. It was oh my God, dude. It was a shit coin product that it wasn't even, anyway.
Yeah.
So during that hackathon, there was.
Wait, can you say this stuff?
No, I can't, but whatever. I can't get into specifics.
Nah, don't get in trouble, dude.
I'm not like I can tell you like what I did.
You're gonna go back with your badge and be
no, hold on.
Not good here.
Hold on a second. I can talk about it. I can't get specific with it.
Yeah.
So we had this event, this program activity, and one of my teammates and I got into a heated argument, like the way to approach this and like what the idea is we're gonna pursue. And him and I got so mad at each other. We had to step outside and like cool down. Like at one point he was like yelling at me. I was yelling at him. I was like, dude, this is a fucking dumb project. And I was like, I was pissed, man, because like we're not gonna win. Of course it didn't win because like it was a fucked up project. But I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I learned that giving up the leadership role and assigning leaders and making your roles clear on who's doing what makes your team so much more effective. Because if everybody's doing everything, it's going to fail, right? I think it's one of the reasons why we didn't win that competition. But the teams that did win had clear goals. They knew what they were doing. They knew who was doing what, and did it well within a time frame, right? And they worked together really well. So I absolutely think that being a good follower makes you a better leader. Knowing, even if it's the wrong idea, even if it's a terrible idea, doing your job properly and being a good follower is really, really important. And it's changed me as a leader because now I I know what not to do as a leader. I know what to do more as a leader and how to do it, because there's guys in my team. One guy, his name is Stefano. He's really, really smart guy. He has led teams of 200 plus people, right? And I would argue he's more qualified than me to be a leader because he was a bit older, very smart guy, very, very nice guy. And he sat down with me and he told me, hey, Tristan, listen, you don't always have to be the leadership. You don't always have to be the leader in every situation. And at first I brushed him off like whatever, right? But then I thought about it and I meditated about what he talked about. And I was like, man, he's right, because if you can let go and just accept the fact that like, okay, even if, like I said earlier, then it's okay. And yeah, that's ultimate. I'm gonna start going in loops about that idea, but that's one of the biggest takeaways is being a good follower to be a better leader. That was absolutely one of the best things. This is number 2, number 1.
That was number 2.
Okay, number 2. Number 3, I think honestly, man, of all of it, I'm fucking bullish as hell on Bitcoin.
Really?
I am harder than
shocker.
ever.
Did not expect that. I thought you were going to come back fully fiat.
I thought I was too. I thought I was
scared. I was like, man, this guy's going to turn to the dark sides and come back fiat.
I'm not going to lie. He's going to
come back with a white turtleneck.
No. I'll be completely transparent. There was a moment where I was like, okay, like why shouldn't I do this? Because like the money's there. I was tempting. But then I met the people who had taken this route.
Oh, wow.
They were not the person I want to be, not the brand I want to represent, not the mission I want to go with, because
I don't know if you remember, but you have like a really real, we don't have to get into it, but you've talked about it in the past where like, there's a reason why you're getting into the escrow market. Like almost like you were born to do it.
Yeah, man. Thing. It's,
we don't have to get into it, but
let's get into it. We can't, we have time. I have time. So there's a certain
Do you really
point.
Want to share this?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care. I'll be transparent as possible. That's kind of what I want to do.
Okay. Tell us why you want to get into escrow for.
So the money is there, Car. There is so much money involved with what I can do. But with that money comes a certain energy. And the energy I like the most and the energy I want to support is Bitcoin. Why? Because I thought about it a lot. I was going to rebrand into something entirely different. But I went back to my roots. I thought about you guys. I thought about you and Kyle. I thought about Matt Odell, Marty Bent, Unchained, ABC, BitDevs. I'm like, man, if I do this, not only will I be on the other side of the coin, quite literally, but I would lose the community. I'd lose the energy and the love that you guys have here. Because Pleb Lab, you guys have it fucking down. There's nothing else in the world like Pleb Lab. I went to other states. I went to California. The tech center of the world, arguably. They don't have what we have here. Seriously, man. Like Pleb Lab is truly something special. And like Pleb Lab aside, like Bitcoin community is really, really tight knit. They're a bit cultish, they're a bit crazy sometimes, but they're right, And I think being a maxi is the only option we have, especially after this whole FTX crash, which I think was meant to happen while my time there. Made me think a lot about like the ethos of Bitcoin, the philosophy, and seeing other companies not follow this ethos really showed you who they are,
Do you think Pleb Lab prepared you for Draper?
Absolutely, my God.
Oh, dude, that's good.
Man, you guys have no idea.
That's good.
You guys have you guys have somewhat of an idea, but man,
that's all I care about, man.
Conversations with myself, with God, and all these different things about like, what's the right thing to do? And I think ultimately the right thing to do at the end of the day is to just orange pill the fuck out of the world, and fight these banks because, going back to the FTX thing, and FTX was the complete opposite of the Bitcoin ethos. The banks were funding FTX, fully custodial with their own token, getting loans backed by that token. Token was crashing. People lost billions. People lost their energy with that money they lost. And with Bitcoin and non-custodial solutions, no KYC, you don't lose your time and energy with the companies like that because it won't happen. And for example, my company, we're fully non-custodial. We're going to be Bitcoin only. And it's just the complete opposite of what they do. Because if I lost that much money for my customers, my family, my friends, I would be devastated. I don't know how Sam Bankman-Fried isn't, feeling terrible about this. Maybe he's just, I don't know. But it's just the wrong thing to do.
Bitcoiners
it's the wrong thing to do.
Dude.
I mean, there's going to be some things I'm going to do. You guys are going to be very, very questionable. So here's the phase I went through. So before I came to Pleb Lab, way back in 2015, I was like, cool, Bitcoin's cool. Didn't really know much about it. 2017, I was like, oh, cool, cryptocurrency is cool. Woo, trading tokens, right? I came here. I was like, okay, Bitcoin only. I got it. When we went to Draper University, I was like, okay, Bitcoin was obviously the answer, right? But this, and this is okay, right? It's pretty, not gonna lie, it's pretty interesting, right? Then I went through the program more and I was like, okay, this is why Bitcoin is here because of this, and that. And I came back here bullish more than ever.
Yeah, dude.
So much more bullish than I was before. We picked you up yesterday from the
airport, man. You were just
I didn't sleep for 48 hours that day.
Yeah.
But I was so enthusiastic to be back. And Austin is the best goddamn place in the world for Bitcoin, besides El Salvador. But
it was interesting that when you came back, you were just like so bullish.
Oh my God, dude. I was so happy to be back too. The prices, oh my God, California is so fucking expensive, man. God, you know how much a fucking burrito and a coffee costs? The California airport?
$10?
$27.
Whoa.
For a fucking coffee and a burrito.
Get out of here.
I was pissed.
Get out of here.
It was so shitty too. And the worst part is that when you go to a coffee shop in San Francisco, the default choice of milk is oat milk. Ugh. They're like, do you want normal or whole milk? I'm like, I'm sorry. So you can say that again? Like, do you want oat milk or whole milk? I'm like, obviously whole milk. And like,
they won't let
my God. And the grocery store across the street next to the university didn't have any fucking beef. No beef. I was pissed. They had so much tofu, but no, I had to go eat out to have a steak. It was terrible.
Wow, dude.
I was pissed, man. But
should have got some
California's an absolute shitcoin, man.
Get some Cancy cattle out there.
Shitcoin, yeah. More like K and soy, so bad
out there. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Dude, it's good to have you back, man.
Dude, I'm so happy back.
Vibe is really high here in the lab today because like you came back yesterday. We were all pumped to hear you. Mm-hmm. You get in the chat and you were saying we're coming back, dude. It's vibes are back. What do you think? Has anything changed here? Can you tell if anything's changed?
Dude, absolutely. It's a lot more comfy here. It's a lot more homey. Really? And like Alex's office looks great. Kyle's office looks like shit. Your office is still a mess. But the actual like workspace itself has really added.
Got some new builders.
Yeah, new builders in here. Marcus is a cool guy. I really want to get close with him. He seems cool. Alex has changed, I can tell. And it just feels a lot more pleb here now. It's like more broken in, like a leather shoe. Yeah. When you first buy a leather shoe, it's like kind of hard and like stiff. Once you start walking the path more so, it becomes more broken in and more flexible.
It's just staying the course. You guys
have done a great job with the
it really is staying the course. Like there's something to be said about like sticking to the plan. I always talk about it all the time. Like quit changing the damn plan, especially changing it last minute. It's like, no, we have a plan. Let's stick to it. And it's just like, keep going forward, man. One day at a time.
Yeah.
This is how we win.
But let's go back to Pleb Up for a second, because I think despite Draper being amazing, despite everything I experienced being absolutely amazing, despite Tim being an amazing guy. Yeah. By the way, Tim Draper is a really, really, really great guy. He's a hardcore Bitcoiner. And sure, he invests into the cryptocurrency stuff because he knows there's quick money there. But there was a moment when him and I were just talking. It's a very private conversation. I can't talk about it. But he's a Bitcoiner, man. He really, really believes in the vision. He gets it. He knows it. That all said, everything there was great. Loved it. Had a great, best time of my life. Pleb Lab has it down. Austin has it down.
What do you mean we got it down? For the listeners out there, what do you mean we got it down?
The Bitcoin ethos is here in action. Ultimately, that's what it means. Because it's a part of it, somewhat.
You got to see it to believe it.
You have to see it to believe it. Going inside, out the bubble for both worlds, you get to experience both energies of people, ideas, you can conversations. The conversations are different.
Yeah. The reason too, also like you go to Bitcoin Park, it's the same thing. You got to see it to believe it, dude. Come here to Pleb Lab, you got to see it to believe it.
So I think the worst thing I experienced in terms of shitcoinery was I went to LA for a blockchain summit. God, dude. Oh my God, it was terrible. So ABC, it's like what, 120 people?
Yeah, something like that.
This entire blockchain conference, mind you, they rented out the entire, event center? Maybe 300 people, max. 200 maybe. ABC is doing a better job than the tens of thousands of dollars they pour into this LA blockchain summit. And mind you, a ticket was $1,000, but I got mine for free because I'm cool.
And then all the sponsorship too.
It was so shitty, dude. Like they had I think the moment I realized I fucked up by going here was they had a cardboard cutout for like pictures and stuff of the fucking Bored Ape Yacht Club thing. It was terrible, man. It was honestly just so bad,
dude. But the
reason there, it felt depressing,
dude. The reason they do that is because the amount of money that you can make from blockchain sponsorships and blockchain tickets, like you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why they do it. It's not for what you get out of the conference.
It was so bad, Carl. This blockchain summit was like just so low energy, and the people there, you know, all those YouTubers that like just jerk off themselves and talking about cryptocurrency on camera all day and trading. That was like the epitome of everything there. Like I didn't even talk to anybody there. Like I had like a couple of conversations, but man, it was just so shitty. Like the energy there was the complete opposite of Bitcoin. Like ABC here. So ABC is like beef, high energy, great people. The cryptocurrency conference is like just sleazy, so shitty. And oh my God, the panelists there had no idea what they were talking about. They were so uninformed on everything, and they completely avoided the fact of FTX, like everything like that. It was just, it was a shit show, man. Shitcoin shit show. It was terrible.
Dang.
And
can be bullish? Bullish on Austin.
Yeah, dude. Austin is honestly the best place to be for Bitcoin in the world right now. I mean, there's one panelist there who was trying to really show the audience in Bitcoin and why it's the best. But there was a question that somebody asked, like, what is Web3? And they just talk for like 30 minutes and trying to describe it. Like, I get it. Like, Web3 is cool and all, but like, there's no need for shitcoinery at all. You don't have to tokenize your fucking dick pictures. Like, come on, dude. There's just no need. There's no need. And it's just ridiculous.
Tristan.
But
it's good to have you back.
Yeah,
man.
that said, man, I love Austin. I'm more bullish than ever. I am so motivated to get ready to work. And in fact, dude, Topher, you guys have all really changed since I've been here. You've lost weight.
Damn.
Alex is doing great. New members here. But yeah, man, I'm just so happy to be back. I can tell everybody here is ready to work, because right now in this market, despite it being super shitty, I think right now is one of the best times to build.
Why's that?
For the entire Bitcoin.
Tell them. Why is that?
Why? Because again, going back to what the guy from Sequoia said, if you can build a company right now that makes it in this time period, once the next 5-6 years do come around in the golden age of Bitcoin, or the orange age, maybe.
Oh, yeah, the orange age. TM?
Send tweet. But
the orange age, I love it.
If you can survive now, you're going to thrive later, like you've never seen before, because these next 5 years, these next 3 years.
This is what he was saying, or what?
This is what I'm saying. These next 3 years are going to be hard, right? Regulations, the government, the shitcoinery.
CBDCs.
It's going to happen. Like there's going to be another FTX event. Something at that scale is going to happen. Like all these cryptocurrency companies are collapsing, like BlockFi, FTX. They're all collapsing. Why? Because when you filter throughout all the bullshit, what comes out of it, the gold nuggets, or the orange nuggets that do survive, are Bitcoin companies. And they always will, because Bitcoin will be forever around. It'll forever work. It can't hack or merge Bitcoin into some other fucking chain like Ethereum did. And the fact is that we have the best community and the best people. That's why I love Austin. I love Pleb.
Thank you. I honestly believe like we're moving back to a place where it's about like owning properties. Do you know what I mean? Like actual real world things. This is why like hardware right now is such a big thing behind the scenes right now. Everybody's trying to do their own hardware stuff, right? And like this is where we're headed. We're headed back to that original ethos of actually building something of greatness.
Listen, I'll give them credit. I'll go on the yin and the yang side, right? So the yang is that there are some amazing ideas in shitcoinery, right? But the yang of that, the other side of the coin, is that there's no need to have their own blockchain for this. When the reality is you just build that on Bitcoin. Sure, Bitcoin is hard. Bitcoin script is really hard to learn. Lightning is really hard right now. But the way I see it is that we are currently in the 90s pre-boom of the .com, right, for Bitcoin. Because when Netscape released, they didn't have any like NPM libraries. They didn't have any of this stuff. Same with Bitcoin. They didn't have any. Okay, let me back up. So in the 90s, they had JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, right? Nothing fancy, right? And they had things like Netscape. Almost said Nostr. What was the music platform called?
What? Back in the 90s?
No,
Napster.
Napster. Yeah. So, but now they've got React frameworks, React.js, React Native, Flutter, Rust, all these great languages and great companies because of that. But right now, we are in the Netscape phase of Bitcoin, where it's like, okay, Bitcoin script doesn't have any libraries, doesn't have its own language yet. There's no like React.js for backend Bitcoin development. Sure. But when the bubble does burst and the future goes on and time goes on, there will be better frameworks, better developing environments, languages, all that stuff, and great companies too. So right now we're in the Netscape phase and we're going through all this bullshit, right? It'd probably take another 6-5 years for all this stuff to, really filter through. But once it is filtered through, 2026, 25, 27, I think it'll be some of the best years in the world in history because of not only the companies, but the money is coming back to the people. And you take away the energy, because money is energy at the end of the day, right? When you take away the money from the banks, when you take away the energy from the banks back into the hands of the people, it's going to be world changing. And in fact, Alex was at my house last night. We were talking, and he wrote on my whiteboard one thing, but it really stuck out to me because it was a peace sign, a heart, and Bitcoin. I said, "What is that, Alex?" He said, "Oh, that's a kind of thing I made up. It's called Peace, Love, Bitcoin." I was like, man, if a war ever breaks out about Bitcoin, that's gonna be a huge thing. It's peace, love, Bitcoin. I can see it on t-shirts, on signs. It is gonna be everywhere. But anyway, back to my original point. Oh man, Bitcoin's great. Community's great. Pleb Lab's great. Austin's amazing. Fuck California. Fuck shitcoinery. It's all just fuck Ethereum, dude. Oh my God. It's actually security now, which is
wait, did Vitalik show up to?
No, hell no. If he did, I would slap him in the face. But no, I'm just kidding. Legally, as a joke.
He's like 6'5", I think.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't care how tall he is.
What if he knows jujitsu too?
I guarantee he does not. The dude plays World of Warcraft. Have you seen the way he dresses, dude? No. Anyway, I'm really happy to be back. Lightning Escrow is going to be an amazing company. We're going to rebrand soon to something else. And we're launching in about 2 months. And I guess I'll show a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, you're currently listening, Lightning Escrow is a non-custodial Bitcoin escrow service on the Lightning layer and the base layer as well. So escrow.com, they take about 3 to 5 days to process the transaction. The fee is about 3.25%, plus other fees can go as high as like 8%. And they're fully custodial. And they have KYC, so no one likes that. With our company, on the base layer, it took about 10 minutes. On Lightning, about 35 seconds. That's the goal, at least. And our fees are just a flat 1% fee. And then we also have no KYC. And we're non-custodial, which is really cool. And so we have a website for people like you and I, and an API for businesses. So in the event you want to actually dispute a transaction with your wallet, with a marketplace like Amazon, you can do that. You get your money back, no problem. So that's what we do. And our plan is to partner with every wallet, every marketplace, every bank possible, so that you have a layer of protection for your Bitcoin in case you get screwed, like a condom. That's it, man. That's the pitch. And they love that pitch, man. But yeah, man, I'm bullish as fuck.
Cheers.
I'm so ready to build. Cheers. Oh, I miss John.
Cheers.
I'm ready to build. I'm ready to get launched.